This is the instructional how-to video for the Rothrock concession trailer. I do apologize if I pronounced your name the wrong way. I'm going to show the functionality of your brand new concession trailer and then the shutdown procedure itself. Up front we have the city water fill box for the restroom. So we've got for filling the freshwater tank. If you need to fill it obviously with water, do so through here. This will be running the water pump itself. If you need to bleach or sanitize the freshwater tank, you can do so through that port also. If you choose to bypass, if you have pressure water, so to speak, available, you can bypass the tank and pump and hook into the pressurized side of this system itself. And you'll be able to lock up. That flap does move out of the way so you can lock up the box itself. Your window does open for the RV windows, which you have one on the passenger side V-nose and then one on the passenger side of the trailer. I've got your exterior lights in the working position. I'll slow down and let you be able to see the side of the trailer itself. Always want to make sure that concession door is open. Hood system's on before turning the propane gas lines on. Make sure that plug working right there. We've got the flip up doors for the porch area open. Have the roller wheels here to protect those crank jacks, 3/4 inch socket, and an impact gun for the crank jacks themselves. Again, same thing with this city water fill box. This is for the kitchen itself, filling the freshwater tank. And if you need to bleach or sanitize the freshwater tanks itself, you can do so. Or you can bypass and go to your pressurized water side itself. Down below that is the access control for the water heater. I've got it in the on position, which is for the I. Putting it into the O position does turn it off. You need to make sure you turn the unit off after at the end of each day before transport. Got your generator box here. Do make sure that your slide out tray and drop leg is put in place. The generator has to run completely outside of the box itself. At this moment, I'm plugged into my shore power cable itself for running the trailer. We have your wastewater connection for the restroom. So you'll need to hook up a 3-inch waste hose. At that point, then you can pull the gate valve and everything will be able to flow out like so. This is going to be the waste drain for one of the waste tanks. I'm not sure which one 100% right this second. And this one will be for the kitchen itself. 3-inch waste hose. Won't let the water flow out. I'll go ahead and drain this one as well. We've got some light switches here in the cabin, front sleeping quarter cabin. This is the light switches for the restroom itself. So one's the light switch and one's the power roof fan. You got your electric panel, 100 amp panel, all 20 amp independent circuits. Got your fuse panel for the 12 volt system, battery charger, battery itself. Hot and cold water. Freshwater tank. Power cord going down through cable hatch here. Water pump switch for the restroom. You got your foot flush for the toilet. Of course, all your hot water lines are tied off of one propane water heater itself. These are the plugs in the sleeping quarter area on passenger side. Then you open the roof vent, light switch here for inside lights. We're sitting at 34 degrees for the fridge. Right now we're at 9 degrees for the freezer and cooling. Got your water pump switch located here for the sink package itself. The back side of the propane water heater, gas line. You can see the water indicator level on the tank itself. See that flame that popped up? That's the burner turning on. And as you can see, the water heating up. Of course, you can there we go. Hood system on. So again, always having the hood system on itself and turning the propane on. You'll use a lighter like so. Everything needs to be in the off position when lighting. And you'll administer fire here. There is no need to force light the equipment. There's enough gas coming through the pallets for them to be able to be lit before ever turning the burners on. So do not turn this on when lighting. Always make sure it's in the off position. There's the grease tray down below. Any drippings. For the griddle, same thing, it stays in the off position, and you'll administer a fire at the bottom of like so. Once you have your flame or your pilot's lit, then you can activate the burners below. Once finished, do make sure that you turn that off. You have your gas lines here, one for the 4-burner, one for the griddle. If you choose to not run the griddle, you can simply turn off like that. If they're in both positions, same, running in line, they will actually be on and gas will be coming through the pilots at all times. This is the gas valve for the fire suppression system, and that is the tank for the fire suppression system. If the fire suppression system is to go off, this immediately trips the gas and cuts it off so that the fire can be put out. Go ahead and turn the gas off itself. Turn that gas off. We'll turn off, we'll turn off the tank valve. When you do that and you're done for the day, also do make sure that you do turn that water heater switch off. Just good rule of thumb to make sure it's in the off position. If you are going to run the propane for the water heater aspect of it, I would recommend turning these gas valves off so that you do not have any propane coming inside. I highly would recommend that. Again, the hood system needs to be on by turning the switch on itself before you ever put fuel to these appliances. Again, your water heater is propane. If you're going to use it, have the gas valves in the off position for your griddle and your 4-burner. Just a good rule of thumb, good safety. Go out here and show you these plugs. There you go. Alright, I got your lights working out here. So back to the gas before we go too much further. So hood system would be on. You would turn the valve on at the tank, or indicating your tank itself, pressurizing the line to here, which actually is going to be stopping here. When you've pressurized that line, again, hood system on, everything's good to go inside, everything's in the off position, making sure the equipment's in the off position. When you turn this on, you should hear a burst of energy come through here, but that's it, just a split second burst of energy. After that, you're good to go as far as you're going inside and lighting the equipment. If you hear a large amount of gas coming through here and you know the equipment is off, immediately shut this valve off. Contact your local plumber to come out and evaluate the line. This gas plumbing pipe goes down through the floor and hugs the frame and comes back up under the equipment itself. You should not hear any gas coming through with just the pilot lights themselves. You'll only hear gas coming through if the burners are actually lit and actively going, or a broken pipe because of road debris itself. Propane is highly flammable, highly dangerous. Just want you to be safe. Again, you got to be very attentive to when you're turning this system on, literally listening at whatever it costs to make sure there's no gas coming through here when you're activating the system. Sudden burst of energy, that's it. But again, these always need to remain in the off position when business is closed or before lighting the equipment. Never run the propane at night. Never leave the pilot lights running at night. I've got your sink cover up above on your upper shelf sitting stationary. AC unit itself, you can definitely turn off if you choose to do so through here. If you want to turn your freezer off, you can do so by the switch here. Packaging, all in its original components. Water pump switch for the sink package itself. And then your fridge itself you can turn off as well. Packaging all in its original place. That is the pan for the that's the grease pan for the griddle. We'll put the other pan for the 4-burner in here as well, and also all the paperwork for your equipment. Highly recommend reading over all the packets for the equipment itself to make sure everything is safe and sound. Again, making sure this water pump switch is in the off position, making sure your power cord comes up through the grommet hole itself when finished and unplugged from either your generator or your power source. These switches will be in the off position. That switch will be in the off position as well. And turn all these light switches off. I would recommend all doors being closed. So again, shutdown procedures, very easy. Do make sure that everything's turned off. Make sure that all of your waste hoses are disconnected, and making sure that the valves are actually shut and the hose caps are put back into place for each waste tank itself. As always, making sure lug nuts are tight. We like to make sure these are torqued at 130 foot-pounds of torque per lug nut. Making sure that your water heater's off and your freshwater hose is disconnected. Making sure that when you close these flip-up doors that they are actually latched with a pin that we will provide before you leave, like here. Always make sure that your crank jacks are pulled up in the upright position. Everything is free and clear. Making sure that all blinkers, brake lights, and running lights are operational. Flip up counter, setup and shutdown is the same thing. Pressing upward allows that counter to roll down. Pressing back upward allows it to be set up in place. Again, doors latching like so, pin in place. We thank you for taking the time to view this instructional video. Wish you the very best with the work that you're going to be doing, and want to be able to help out in any way we can. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Please use this video as any intended purpose for safety of you and your personnel itself. Have a great day.